General Hospital shocker. Trial turns deadly. 1 dies, 2 faint, 2 in cuffs. The courtroom at Port Charles was packed, tense, and suffocating with secrets as the most explosive trial in recent General Hospital history unfolded. A cascade of events set off a shocking chain reaction, ending in death, unconscious victims, and 2 shocking arrests that no one saw coming. Let's break down the dramatic, emotional, and downright scandalous events. Judge Pierce entered the courtroom, but the eyes of the public and press weren't on him. They were fixated on the defendants, Cyrus Renaud and Esme Prince. Both were charged with separate but overlapping crimes. Cyrus, with conspiracy and racketeering tied to several mob-related attacks. Esme, with her role in the baby switch and arson at Spoon Island. Trina, Spencer, Jocelyn, and Dex were all present as witnesses. On the opposing side, Dante, Max Scorpio, and Laura Collins coordinated with the DA's office, ready to expose years of corruption and betrayal. But no one was prepared for the chaos that was about to unfold. As Trina Robinson took the stand, her voice trembled, but her resolve did not. She recounted her experience at Windermere the night of the fire. She identified Esme as the one who lit the match. Then, unexpectedly, she glanced toward Spencer and whispered, "There's more." Trina revealed that Spencer secretly recorded Esme confessing to manipulating both Nicholas and Ava. The courtroom erupted. Esme's attorney demanded a recess, but the judge pressed forward. The recording was played, filling the courtroom with Esme's icy voice admitting to burning down the north wing of Spoon Island. This was already enough for conviction, but it was the beginning of the end for someone else. As the tape ended, Victor Cassadine's old associate, disguised as a janitor, pulled a hidden weapon from the cleaning cart and lunged towards Spencer Cassadine. Chaos broke out as Dante and Mac jumped into action. The man fired once, twice, and hit the wrong person. The second bullet hit Judge Pierce directly in the chest. Gasps echoed. The judge collapsed, dead on the floor. Screaming erupted. Bailiffs subdued the shooter, who was later revealed to be Milo Nedrov, a long-lost member of the Cassadine Circle sent by Victor months ago with one final mission: destroy Spencer's credibility. In the scuffle, Laura Collins tried to shield Spencer, but collapsed from a sudden migraine and fainted, possibly triggered by stress, or, more mysteriously, by a substance later found on her drinking cup, suggesting poisoning. Meanwhile, Diane Miller, standing beside Esme, also dropped to the floor, convulsing, her face pale. Paramedics rushed in. Both Laura and Diane were unconscious, rushed to GH, their vitals unstable. Speculation grew. Was this all part of a larger coordinated hit? Or had something gone wrong inside the courtroom air system? ACTV. Forensics reveal the truth and the culprits. At General Hospital, Portia and Finn performed toxicology on Laura and Diane. Both tested positive for a rare neurotoxin, a custom-made compound that had been seen only once before in the WSB files. Someone had planned this attack with military precision. In a massive revelation, Spinelli traced the source of the neurotoxin to a shipment ordered under a false name from a Cassadine offshore account. The person who approved the transaction? Esme Prince. She stood in shock as the evidence was presented. And then came the real twist. Cyrus Renaud smirked. "You think she acted alone?" He produced a handwritten note he'd been hiding in his Bible, a note that named Martin Gray, of all people, as the facilitator. A courtroom shocker. As the courtroom resumed post-chaos, Martin Gray was placed under arrest for obstruction and aiding in the procurement of dangerous substances. Esme, too, was handcuffed again, not just for arson, but now for conspiracy to commit murder and attempted murder via poisoning. Spencer, pale and shaken, tried to approach Trina, but she held up a hand. "Not now," she whispered. The damage was too deep, and Spencer's past ties to the Cassadines put everyone around him at risk. At GH, Diane regained consciousness and immediately began recalling the moments before she collapsed. She remembered Esme smiling at her. Diane insisted Esme slipped something into her tea during a break. Laura, however, remained unconscious, with Finn worried about potential long-term effects. Kevin stood vigilantly at her bedside, furious. If the Cassadines weren't dead before, they will be now. Meanwhile, Jordan Ashford formally announced charges. Esme would face attempted murder, arson, reckless endangerment, and felony conspiracy. Martin would be disbarred and investigated further for his ties to Cyrus's network. ACT-8. Port Charles reacts, and questions multiply. Carly, watching the chaos unfold, confronted Drew. This town is a war zone. How long before it's our family next? Michael and Willow held their kids close. Sonny ordered extra security around Donna and Christina. Anna initiated a WSB probe, suggesting the Cassadine threat was far from over. And in a dark alley behind the courthouse, Nicholas Cassadine watched from the shadows, very much alive. That night, in a chilling ending, Spencer returned to Windmere alone. He stood in front of the fireplace and whispered, "It never ends." Suddenly, the doors creaked open. A figure appeared. It was Nicholas. Spencer gasped, "You're supposed to be dead." Nicholas, so was Victor. So is Esme. So will you be, if you don't do exactly what I say next.